I thought maybe you are going to come with something that we don't know. I thought you are going to say there is this piece of legislation, or there are these norms and standards which don't allow the commissioner to wear the task force uniform in cameras. So it's just your imagination and your general concern.
I certainly do not, as the minister, want to encourage, and I will not encourage police officers to ignore the rank structures, the structures of discipline and decision-making within the police service.
When they go to cameras, accompanying their commander in uniform, displaying the strength of the police, why are you worried? I really don't understand. What is it that precipitates your concern?
People will take extraordinary measures, and that is a slippery slope.
So, when you speak English, so since you've established that what you spoke about you didn't know and you didn't understand, it made people think that General Mkhwanazi wearing a regalia, a military uniform is wrong. So that must be fixed. What is wrong with that?
And so I don't apologize. In fact, I believe that the issue that I raised was an important one. His appearance before the public, in full military regalia, armed and so forth, worried me. And I made a statement to that effect after my appointment. And I said at the time, which I maintain is correct, that was that kind of public statement was not in the ordinary situation, in the expected situation, appropriate, because the police have a command structure, there's a national commissioner, and there is a minister and a president and so forth.
Minister, me and you agree that the task force is a unit that was established in terms of the legal protocols, correct? So it's a unit which is within the legal framework of SAPS.
As I understand it, it's not part of the structure and establishment at the moment. It's a task team which was set up pursuant to a political decision to deal with a specific problem of undefined duration. I think they didn't apparently make a decision, and they couldn't make a decision to say you'll only exist for 2 months. They had to set up a structure and a system to deal with the problem of political killings. I can't think of anything worse in a democracy when councillors, people who want to serve the public, are murdered. What kind of country is that? So we have to deal with this matter. Government did deal with it, and in fact that structure now continues to exist. And I am pleased about that because, as I've said, I think it's necessary, and in fact I think we needed to have bolder action because I see this as organized crime across the country.
Yeah. So, Minister, if the task force is a legal structure, whether it's a task team or a unit, which is within legally so the framework of SAPS, then why are you becoming worried while crime is rife in South Africa, when police are displaying their strength in front of cameras in uniform? Because the task force is one of the task teams which are well respected or which are feared by criminals. Now, when they go to cameras, accompanying their commander in uniform, displaying the strength of the police, why are you worried? I really don't understand. What is it that precipitates your concern? Because there's nothing. I thought maybe you are going to come with something that we don't know. I thought you are going to say there is this piece of legislation, or there are these norms and standards which don't allow the commissioner to wear the task force uniform in cameras. So it's just your imagination and your general concern. You were just concerned as a citizen, but there is absolutely nothing in terms of the law that prohibits the commissioner from wearing a task force uniform with his team in front of cameras.
So I will repeat, I think in a normal situation, police officers in a disciplined police organization respect the authority structure. And where there are concerns, therefore, they raise that matter with their immediate superiors and so forth. That's how a policing structure works. Otherwise, there's a breakdown of discipline. And that discipline is essential for effective law enforcement. I also think, and we can disagree with this, about this matter, we can disagree, plainly appears we do. I think that the military and the police do not exercise political power in a democracy. So we've got to be careful about even the symbolism of an approach like that. For me, as a Democrat, wanting to protect the civilian space it was a concern when I saw it. The task force was effective, or it was doing its work before that press conference. Do you agree? So it can't be that the task, that the interview that was given was necessary for their work. That General Mkhwanazi intervened in the public domain because he felt that his options apparently were being exhausted. He had come before Parliament in March, he'd raised his issues, and there were obstacles to these matters being ventilated in the public domain. And you now have a situation where he has done so. I've watched, by the way, we've watched the Sahel, I've watched what's happened there, and I'm not in the position, I'm not unsympathetic to the changes that have occurred there, because it happens when democratic institutions fail, when the public loses confidence in democratic institutions. And I think that we must be careful about walking that route. Let's solve our problems this way, not by assuming that the solution is going to come from our generals, our solutions to political problems, because it's a political problem. If you talk about law enforcement, the issues are, in my view, they're about strengthening the capabilities of the police service, detective services, dealing with crime intelligence. That was not a solution to the problem of crime. He was intervening in the political space. And it might be that he felt, he must talk for himself, he might felt that he had no option. But that was a last resort. It's not something, I certainly do not, as the minister, want to encourage, and I will not encourage police officers to ignore the rank structures, the structures of discipline and decision-making within the police service. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, but Minister, we are speaking as if the general never attempted to raise things from within before he went to the media. I mean, he testified before all of us that he made attempts, he tried to reach out to the minister, and he lost confidence in the system. So we can't ignore that. Secondly, the second aspect that you are talking about of political power, that the police can't exercise political power. There is nothing that suggests that the press briefing on that day had anything to do with political power. It's concerns that were raised on the infiltration that is vast and intense within SAPS. So there's nothing that suggests that that has anything to do with political power. So I've been trying to establish nexus between your concerns and what transpired on the 6th of July, and unfortunately, I'm failing to connect the two. But because of time, let me move to another question, because
to deal with your issue, because with respect, I mean, did I not say that he had appeared in Parliament on the 5th of January and it raised his concerns, and that what might justify his decision was precisely that he felt that the important matters that needed to be ventilated in the public domain in exceptional circumstances, that he wasn't getting that hearing, those matters were not being ventilated. So on that matter, that one we are in agreement. So no point, no reason to emphasize the point as if we are not in agreement. On the second matter, we don't agree. We don't agree. I think that there ought to be there's a separation, political powers exercised here by elected representatives. That's how our system should work. When it's not working, then people will take extraordinary measures, and that is a slippery slope. So what I'm saying is strengthen your democratic institutions so that it's not necessary. Fight corruption. Protect the integrity of your institutions. Then it won't be necessary for General Mkhwanazi to take the extraordinary steps that he did. And I'm saying to you, it might well turn out that he was completely justified. So in doing what he did. There too we can agree, can't we? If the issue is, what is my attitude to General Mkhwanazi? You know, I've watched him. I've met him in private. I've watched him in public. I've met him in meetings. He's a well-trained, professional police officer who's in a position of leadership in the police service. And it looks to me like, you know, he's among the most impressive, at least as he presents himself in discussion. When he's appeared before you, when he's appeared before Nhlanhla, he's got substance, he's got knowledge and expertise. So, but I cannot say that the issue that concerned me and which I raised is no longer a concern. I'm explaining why, and I stick by that.
So, njengoba ukhuluma into ongayazi, when you speak English. So since you've established that what you spoke about you didn't know and you didn't understand,
Point of
does
order,
that...
Please.
No, I withdraw.
Can
Chair.
you withdraw that?
Yeah, withdraw.
Thank you.
But it means the same thing in English. Since you spoke of something that you didn't know, in Zulu it's something ongayazi, would you take this opportunity maybe to apologize to General Mkhwanazi or clarify the matter in the public? Because it seemed as if you were saying is wearing the uniform that is illegal in the SAPS or it's not allowed. It gave that perception. Would you maybe take this opportunity to clarify that? Now, when something that you don't know, it's the same thing. It's English and Zulu. He spoke of something that he didn't know. He said so. What is wrong with that? It's parliamentary. What is wrong with that? Why are you defending the minister? It made people think that General Mkhwanazi wearing a regalia, a military uniform is wrong. So that must be fixed. What is wrong with that?
Yeah, Honorable Shongwe, you may be justified, but please address the chairperson. Yes. Thank you.
So because of this statement, I don't know whether the minister got the question.
Minister, you may respond.
Thank you, Chair. So, you know, I don't ever pretend that I know everything. When I don't know something, it's no skin off my face to acknowledge that, because that's the way one learns. I'm not a repository of the truth. I don't have a monopoly of wisdom or expertise. So it's no problem for me to say I didn't know. Now, I never said that he was not entitled to wear that uniform. I never said so. I never said it was illegal. So I can't be requested to answer to answer a question that doesn't arise. I understand that why this matter is receiving the attention that it is. I noticed that much of the issues of content and substance in my statement are not the subject of this conversation, or the matters that are within the terms of reference of the inquiry committee. But I will say it again. There's no need for me to apologize. About something that was not intended badly, that was no insult, and so I don't apologize. In fact, I believe that the issue that I raised was an important one. I shared my initial impressions with the public in an open way. That's, you know, what it means to have a public discourse. And if my comments have occasioned a public discourse, that's a good thing. General Mkhwanazi has not demanded an apology from me. If he wants to, if he believes that he needs an apology from me, I don't know if he needs you to act on his behalf. If he wants an apology, he knows how to engage with me. So that will be an entirely different context. The question doesn't even arise, respectfully, in my view, because there was no insult.